Hi, I'm Selina.
And I'm Bel, and together
We are the Fashion Suite podcast.
Let's discover how to make fashion fun, easy, and sustainable.
So you can look great and even feel better about your style choices. Hello, fashion lovers. Welcome to the second episode at the Fashion Suite podcast. We will talking about the true costs of fashion together with my lovely dear host, Bel. How are you doing?
Hi, Selina. Hi, everyone, my fashionistas. I am so happy to be here and about today's topic. Oh my God.
I also can't wait talking about the true costs of fashion, where we're talking about the environmental impact, labor, pollution, mental health. And before we continue talking about this topic, please leave your email address in our Google form, where we'll send you the fact sheet with all the topics and data you need to know on what we have talked about today.
Exactly. That's right. And I would like to ask, have you ever heard of the phrase, everything has a cost? Then stay with us as we uncover the real price behind the fashion industry.
I think this is such a huge topic. In my opinion, I think we have to start about how clothing is made. And I think we have to have the conversation about, firstly, how materials are produced. First of all, you need to know that there are two big differences in materials. First of all, you have natural fiber, for example, like cotton. And then we have synthetic fibers, where we have to talk about polyester, polyamide, spandex, nylon. And there you have to know that synthetic fibers are always made out of oil. Why is it? Why do companies love to have synthetic fiber? Because it's easier to make them, they're endless. Meanwhile, you have cotton, for example, where you depends and always rely on how the spring or summer was, how it was harvested. So these are the differences.
And also the price, no? I think that the main point is how cheap is to produce and buy the synthetic materials to produce cheaper clothing. At the end of the day, they want to reduce cost and have the best margin possible, right, Selina? You know more.
Of course, you just have to think like with cotton, as you have to harvest it, there are people included and there's already work done there. Meanwhile, the synthetic fiber is made out of machines. So you don't need less labor, less workers to pay, less costs you have to pay before you even started producing a clothing. We're just talking about the fiber now. We're not even talking about how it is woven, because even with synthetic fibers, you can just like print it, for example. You don't even have to knit it or something like this. So even there are so many different ways. I don't want to go too deep in detail, but just have this in mind, where this price comes from just at the very beginning.
And also a reminder that an episode of materials is coming soon, where we will talk deep and dive in Selina's favorite topic.
Yes. Please do. But I've also experienced this. Nowadays, people expect clothing to be real cheap. I don't know what you have experienced, Bel, but for me, sometimes people are really surprised how much a clothing can cost. And then I'm always talking to them and I'm like, okay, just think about yourself. How much do you expect to earn an hour for work or like a day for work? And we have to talk about like sewing a clothing is work. And sometimes even several days one. Yeah, it depends on the clothing or the bag, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I always think like, how much do you expect to earn?
I think after all these years of this fast fashion business model, more than 20 years now, we got used to pay very cheap clothing, but you cannot really expect to only pay a cheaper price and have a piece that will last you even more than one season. And at the end of the day, if you invest in a good quality garment, it will last you longer. It's gonna be cheaper for you at the end. But that is a very good question. Also, what do we expect as consumers in fashion when we are buying? Only the price? Buy a good price? Or we expect good quality? Or buy a piece of clothing that represents us? I think it's a very interesting question to question ourselves and really think about this. What are we expecting when we go shopping? When we want a special piece for an event or for your daily work? Or what are we expecting? Super interesting.
I think it's always different because I think it also starts wrapping around the mind, getting all the knowledge, like buying a nicely coat for winter or a nice bag. it's like an investment piece you will want to wear longer. I think there also comes the price in as well, because if you have to pay more, you will think about it more, but then you also wear it more. And I think this is also,
you appreciate it more. You want to repair it, you want to take care of it, wash it properly. It's very important. I always say this to my followers on Instagram. Please read the labels on your clothes so you can see what they are made of, how to wash them so they last longer. It's very easy. We have it right in our hands.
Yes.
But when we buy cheap clothing, I don't think we pay attention to that. I think that is another cost of this fast fashion business.
Yes.
The lack of taking care of our clothing and to really value it.
Yes. I also have to say, what I've experienced is people expect every clothing to be washable in your washing machine. But honestly, it's like whenever you have like a nice wool coat, for example, you can't wash it in your washing machine, but people are like, oh, I have to wash it. If it's not washed in my washing machine, it's not right. This is something I don't understand, because for me, like a nice wool coat, for example, is nice. Or if you get a nice suit, you can't wash it. No, it's not. It's just like the cheap ones. We are so used to it nowadays that we have to wash everything.
Yes,
like regularly.
Quicker, to spend less money. Why will I take this somewhere to be washed properly? It's all the same topic, money, price.
It also reminds me, because if we're talking about fibers and having synthetic fibers, you might know it. If you wash it on the daily basis or something, all the time you wash a synthetic fiber clothing, like microplastic is going into the water.
That's crazy. Yeah. You are literally liberating microplastic to the ocean by just washing your clothes in the washing machine.
That's insane.
Thousands of microplastics. So it doesn't get any better if we start talking about this. But it's good to know all of this, because yes, everything has a cost: environmental cost, contamination, pollution, microplastic liberation in the ocean. So it goes to the fish that we end up eating. But we can do a lot of things with that. We can buy good quality clothing. We can start reading the labels and buy natural materials, natural fibers. Start thinking about, okay, our lifestyle, what I'm doing, how is my daily life going? Do I go to events? What colors do I like? What shapes suit me nice? And start having your wardrobe in a way that works for you, that you are in love with your clothing, and you can play around and make hundreds of combinations and take care of that. Upcycle it. If you got tired of a long skirt, okay, you can make it a mini skirt, or you can use that fabric, take it somewhere, and they can rework it. And you still have your piece that is very special for you, but in a different way. There are many. You know what I'm doing now? Let me tell you something, because I have a lot of clothing. I love wearing different outfits also for my Instagram. I really have fun getting ready. But in reality, I have a lot of clothing, and I realized some of them, I don't wear it anymore. When I stop wearing clothes that I don't feel myself because of the fit or the colors, or I got tired, I started selling them. I proposed to myself something. Okay, I will sell my clothes that I don't wear anymore. And with that money, I will get nice pieces. I will invest in good vintage luxury pieces. So maybe I have to sell 30 pieces of clothing. I already sold 20. So, but I will get one nice one. I will get a nice one.
Yeah.
And that is something good, because you are letting things go, but you will receive a very special piece. I'm looking for a French coat of a very well-known brand, English brand.
Okay.
You can tell what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So, I don't care to get away of 30 pieces that doesn't represent me anymore. I'm not wearing it. Why will I have it in my wardrobe? So this is a nice way to think, okay, I will let things go, but receive ones that I love. And it's really working. I will let you know soon when I get my trench coat. But
I'm curious already.
This is a way to contribute to circularity. And when you buy things in secondhand platforms, you receive like a review from the buyer. And they are, oh my God, I loved it. I can't stop wearing it. And I love to read that, because I had it hidden in my wardrobe somewhere because I don't have space anymore. And someone else is wearing it now. And with that money, I will collect. I have to collect a lot, but I will collect and buy something very nice. I will. I know I will wear it forever, at least for the next 10 years. And that's, for me, is more than enough.
But this is something I really love to hear, because myself, I have exactly the same approach sometimes. I love to get nicer pieces, but I will wear it differently. And as you were so passionate talking and tell us about it. And I love to hear it because this is fashion. This is what we love and this is what we want to see because you express it. While you're going to wear this coat, you will love it. You will shine in this coat. And this is what makes fashion because it's not coat wearing you, it's like you wearing the coat. And this is so different. Yeah. And this is what we want to talk about. And this is the enjoyment we love.
Yeah, completely true. I would be very proud of it.
Yes. I love to see the pictures. I already can see you in it.
Yeah. Coming soon for this fall. Definitely. Yeah. I also put a deadline. Okay, for this fall, I will get my super cute trench coat.
But I love to see it because if it's like a good brand, good quality, nicely made, and this is also like a difference. You can tell, like a coat made in from England, you can tell this is real craftsmanship. Yeah. You will experience like real nice stitches, nice garments. You can tell because there was time taken to make this piece. It was not in a rush because of course, this is where the price comes from. Mm-hmm. Because a coat can take you days to produce. Meanwhile, of course, if you want to have a low price, people standing next to the workers with a clock, taking the time, how long it took them to do like the stitches.
Well, and working conditions is another huge topic.
Yes, and I think we have to talk about it.
Yeah, there's a phrase I like very much that says, if you can buy clothing that cheaply, someone else is paying that price. The fashion industry is the biggest employer of the world. Circa 40 million people work there. Amazing, right? Like, okay, gives a lot of work. But only 2% of them, 2%, gain a proper salary and work in good conditions. This means only a journey of 8 hours a day, clean toilets, ventilation, security, and hygiene conditions. Well, no. These people in countries like Asia, Latin America, Africa don't have this. This is a very sensitive topic, which words cannot describe it at all. I've seen many documentaries. No. There are also a lot of videos in YouTube of bloggers that go to these factories like spies and record the way people work there. Kids work there as well, still today. And it's devastating. But if you want to see it, of course, you can go and watch it. But it's really hard to see. But you know what, Selina? This didn't start with the fast fashion business model 20 years ago. Sure, that's happening, but it's not the root cause. This has always been the case. It traces back to the Industrial Revolution in the 18th, 19th centuries. In the UK, Manchester became the heart of textile production. It was known as Cottonopolis. Did you know this?
No, I didn't know it at all.
It's really crazy because there's a history on everything, Sometimes we tend to gild this fast fashion model, but this comes from way before. These working conditions were also happening 200-300 years ago. And these factories were notorious for long hours, low wages, dangerous environments. Even kids were working there, having accidents. Well, very bad.
Yeah.
And a businessman from the US traveled to these factories as a spy, copied the model, and brought it to the US. Also in the 19th, early 20th century. And New York, indeed, was a significant hub for low quality and exploitative factories because it was the port and it was easy to ship to Europe, it was like the city. But as the industry evolved and labor laws improved in Western countries, companies began outsourcing the production to countries like Asia, Africa, where labor was cheaper and regulations were less strict because of the price.
Yes, totally. I even experienced this with friends I'm working together because normally they were producing in Germany, for example, or in Italy, but they moved their factories. And I could tell just by seeing the clothing, either was it the material or how the sleeve was made. And of course, first they were looking at me and then they told me, yes, they have moved the factory. But this is exactly what I said. Like, it's even happening nowadays that still like companies are moving because it's cheaper. And this is why we have to talk about craftsmanship, but this is also a cost about the quality. Because if a person has time to produce it or if it's nicely made, like in Italy or somewhere, then it's definitely different.
Wow, Selina, this is so interesting what you are saying. To be honest, I have never thought about that, but it's true. It's not just customers who are struggling with the quality or even fashion lovers that they cannot find easily good quality, but also for the fashion business owners, it's kind of a fight to get good quality. Even the people you get the clothes from don't even tell you this kind of information and you have to figure it out. It's really crazy. But now I would like to get a little bit more psychological. I think this is a very important topic to talk about. And I would like to ask you and our listeners, have you ever thought how fashion affects your daily life? I mean, in your day-to-day, when you are scrolling on Instagram, when you are looking for a piece, for an event, or when you look at your wardrobe and don't know what to wear, like, have we ever thought about that?
No, just besides how am I looking?
Because all of this, watching unboxings, hauls on Instagram, preparing ourselves for the summer sale or the Black Friday, these moments of the year when we have to buy something because everything is so cheap that we need to get advantage of this. Well, this can affect you. Constant pressure to keep up with ever-changing fashion trends, this FOMO, the fear of missing out, that now is super trendy to talk about. It affects our mental health. And also, not only this, to get new clothing, new styles, what to buy, what not to buy, but also with all of this information that I would like to point out because we are talking about the reality in fashion, that it's here. When you start learning about this, you can also feel guilty about your fashion consumption. No? Doesn't happen to you when you want to buy something, but you're not sure because you already have a lot of clothing. Why do I need a new piece of clothing? Okay, maybe I get it secondhand or vintage, but I cannot really find it because it's very hard to thrift, to be honest, if you want a special basic at least, no?
Yeah.
Like a white t-shirt, real white t-shirt, or you know what I mean. Even you that you have a fashion store.
Of course, I mean, that's what I want to say. I don't really thrift because it's too much work for me sometimes because I have to look in different stores and I barely have the time for it. Of course, I would love to do it more, but I'm more like, okay, I want something. I'm also more like a spontaneous fast buyer because I need something. I go into the store, I buy it, I leave. Of course, in my store by itself, I love to look around, do looks and everything together. But yes, I'm definitely more the style and impulsive buyer sometimes. But those are mostly my best buys. If I'm trying it, it fits me. But this is also a thing. I'm not shopping all the time, but when I shop, I buy something and I'm wearing it for the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, me
this
too.
This is my approach to it.
Not so long ago, it happened to me something very interesting with this guilty because yes, I'm a fashion blogger. I know a lot about sustainability. I am trying to be super conscious about my purchases and my style. But once I was traveling, I was going to travel. I didn't have that much time, to be honest. I needed some basic crop tops. I love crop tops. And I needed in white, black, and I didn't have the time to look online in secondhand platforms to make sure that it fits me, even less to go to thrifting stores. I know I will not find this kind of basics there. And I ended up buying in a very famous fast fashion brand that for me is the best of the worst is the best. But I felt very guilty. I was not happy with myself because I feel I have a responsibility as a communicator, blogger, as a consumer, no, in general, besides of what I do. But this is not good, because I still wear it. I have it from more than a year now, and I still wear it a lot, and I wash it properly, and it's in good conditions. Besides, it's from a brand that I know it will not last me so long. But until now, I'm wearing it a lot, and I'm very happy with my purchase. This guilt is not good to have. I think guilt should be for something else. We have to consider that we are doing everything that we can with our resources in all different ways. The resources, time, money, information. So I want to express this to our fashionistas as well, no? That maybe they get this new information from us of the environmental cost, impact, working conditions, material, and maybe it's a lot, and you can feel overwhelmed. It happened to us. It happens. It still happens.
Of course.
But it's normal, and fashion is here to represent us, to be fun, to enjoy it. I like to play around. Yesterday I went to an event and I wanted to wear something different, and I started to combine old pink, like this very light pink with black, and added some chunky golden accessories, and I loved it, and I was super happy there because I was like, yes, I love this, and I did like a nice hairstyle, and this is what fashion should be about, to think to wear with happiness and excitement, like, okay, what kind of outfit can I create today? Like a piece of art sometimes.
Yes, that's what I love. Even when you talked about your coat, this is the excitement I love. When people have like nice things, they combine it nicely, they wear it. this is fashion. You should feel it. You have to be you and represent you. This is what I love. And
Yeah.
this is also, I love fashion as well. It makes me happy. And I love to get dressed as well, you know?
And besides all of this, I want to tell very quickly to our listeners that there are good news. That yes, the fashion industry is very fucked up. I don't know if I can say this, but
We will beep it.
okay. But the sustainable fashion market is expanding with an annual growth rate of more than 8% expected until the next 10 years. And this growth is driven by an increasing demand for more ethical and eco-friendly products. We are living in a change already. And these are good news. The vintage and second-hand market grew 12 times more last year than fast fashion industry. 12 times more than the giants.
These are good news. I didn't know that.
These are very good news. Yes, these are very good news. So we are on this together, and this is the real sign that we should enjoy fashion and good for the options that we love. So don't forget to follow the Fashion Suite podcast on Spotify to not miss any episode we post every 2 Thursdays. If you have any questions, comments of what we talked today, or thoughts, even an anecdote you would like to share, please feel free to write us an email to office@thefashionsuitepodcast.com, and also our personal Instagrams at Bel Romano and at selina.simon with double O. We will leave all of this as well in the description of the episode so you can see it easily.
And don't forget to leave your email address in our Google form where you can receive a fact sheet with all the information we have talked about today, and even more with all the details and numbers if you want to know more about it. So leave your email address in our Google form. And yes, I'm already super excited about the next episodes where we will have guests and where we're going to talk about sizing, which is also a really nice topic, and I think a topic which is not talked about enough yet.
Exactly.
So I'm really looking forward to it.
It's gonna be amazing.
So thanks, guys. It was a pleasure. Also to you, Bel. Loved it.
Thank you. Until the next episode.
Yeah, see you there.
Bye.
Bye.